Hey there everybody, Matt Carter here.
And Jessica Carter.
This video is our promo discussion for This Is Us Season 4, Episode 17, entitled After the Fire. This is going to be tough. This is going to be an experimental episode of the show. I don't honestly know how to feel about it right now, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, you mentioned before that a couple of videos ago that you weren't sure how you were going to feel about the idea of seeing what happened if Jack was still around.
Well, we're going to try to talk through this, figure out some ideas as to why Randall is continually putting himself through this. But before we dive in, if you do enjoy this discussion, give us a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any other updates. We also have a full reaction online already to episode 16, so I highly suggest you go and check that out as well. But let us begin with the Jack of it all, because it's really tough. The reason why I feel like this is a difficult episode is just because where are we going to go with all of this? We already know that Randall is hurting, and this entire episode almost feels like Randall putting himself through more pain and then almost putting us through more pain, wondering what if in an imaginary circumstance that doesn't exist.
I think that this is a really important episode for Randall and what we're going to work through in therapy with Randall. It feels like in tonight's episode, we saw that last moment where he replayed it in his head. He saw his dad up there and he screamed up at him, "If you go into that house, I'm going to go through the front door," and it pulled his dad off the roof. He has probably replayed that moment over and over and over again in his head, where he feels that he is responsible for not speaking up, not doing something that could stop his dad and keep him alive. And I think he's been carrying that responsibility for his whole life, and that now after that and after the fire, he felt that he had the moment to save him. He didn't do it for whatever reason. He didn't speak out, and now the whole family is his responsibility, because I think what we saw, that Kate for a long time felt that she was the reason why Jack had died, because he went back in for the dog. But I think that Randall has quietly felt that he is responsible because he did not speak out in the way that he feels that he should. And then you think about things over time, and it gets worse and worse and worse in your head, and you play it out, and it's just like now it's a mountain.
And I mean, the truth is, and I think this is why this is so difficult, I think a lot of people out there go through what Randall is going through. Yeah. Where I've certainly done it, where you replay events in your head and wonder, oh, if I had done this instead of that, how would things be different? How would they be better? And it makes sense for him to circle this as a big pivotal moment in his life. And I think that's why it's going to be difficult, because we all know why he would be doing this. But I think the question that Randall needs to ask himself is, would his life be better if Jack was still around? Maybe, but would his life be the same if Jack was still around? I mean, let's play that out for a minute. Is he in a different place where maybe he doesn't meet Beth or experience his family in any way that's the same?
I don't know, because we watched a preview, and in the preview you do see in the future where Jack is at their wedding, and Jack is going with Randall to meet William, which is like something Jack would totally do. Yeah. And it's all those sort of moments, and that he took him to see William while he was still a young man, so that he thinks that that would have happened. Or is this what would have happened? That's what I'm most interested in about this episode. Is this all what Randall has projected in his mind, or is this really how it would have played out if he was still alive?
I think personally it's probably how Randall plays it, because I think you're probably right. This is probably going to be taking place in therapy. This is a device that's telling this story. So I think in that sense it will probably be kind of all happy, and we'll see all these sort of memories where Jack is there and, you know, everything is going well. But the reality still remains that those events, they may not have gone well if Jack was there, or they may not have even happened if Jack was there.
It's possible. I mean, there is that whole, every time you watch a time traveling show, and it's like, oh, we went back in the past, and now we changed this, and now everything is changed in the timeline.
It's a ripple effect.
Yeah, I don't know if I buy into that, because it is just, a theory that's made up on TV, right? So who knows? It could have still been, their life still goes on the way that it would have played out, but Jack would have been playing along in that timeline, and things would be happening to him as well.
Let's just hope that Randall is not a speedster and he does not go into the Speed Force, because then we will have all sorts of problems, because he will change everything. Yes. But no, I think the truth here is that Randall is going to try to look towards these memories, these what-if memories, really, to get a sense of healing. But this episode, I think, is going to be more about him really learning to let go. That, yes, hypothetically, you could say and do something at any given moment, and almost anything in the world would be different as a result of all of that. But you can't know what's going to happen. When Randall didn't say anything at the fire, he didn't know that Jack was going to die.
I'm worried that this isn't going to be a moment of healing for Randall. That this is where the part of the therapy where you dig really deep and you start to rip apart everything raw down to the surface, and you get really hard into your feelings of anger and sadness and all that sort of stuff. And that Randall, now that we know that Rebecca is not going to do this trial, she is going to live out her life the way that she wants it, and he blames Kevin entirely, even though Kevin had nothing to do with it. This is all Rebecca's decision. She is still of sound mind to do as she pleases. That I think that once Randall starts really digging in deep and getting into those feelings of, man, I could have saved my dad and I didn't, and my life could have turned out like this with my dad, but it didn't because I didn't speak up. Well, now I have a chance. I've got this thing that's going on over at this clinical trial. Rebecca said no. Kevin's backing her up. I think Randall's going to go in like a tornado and just be like, no. I already lost my dad by not speaking up. This is not the way that it's going to play out. And I think that that's really where the fight's going to come in.
I think that is another sad possibility here, is that it's probably going to go from bad to worse.
Yeah.
With Kevin and Randall, because we're at a point right now where I don't think Kevin and Randall would be hanging out anytime soon. But I feel like they could work to get past this. I mean, they both said things they would like to have back. But if Randall continues this and tries to force Rebecca into this, or tries in some way to make Kevin feel even worse about it, eventually it could get to this point where they just don't talk.
Yeah, I mean, siblings coming up with what the plan of attack is going to be for their parents when their parents are going through medical issues, and you have 3 different opinions that are going on. I mean, fallouts happen. It just is what it is with that. And I mean, typically people are going to come back around, but I mean, it is very difficult in this type of situation. Randall is stuck on trying to find a way to save his mom and save his mom's memory, but the truth is that there is no cure for Alzheimer's. That's the unfortunate, crappy, awful truth about it, that a lot of us that have family members that are going through Alzheimer's, like I do with my grandma, that is what we have to face. And yeah, a clinical trial might be able to help, like, somewhat, but the unfortunate reality is it's still going to end up going into this direction. So this really is Rebecca's choice.
I think Randall's just going through his stages of grief in some ways, and he's not at the point where he's accepting it, where he's okay with it. I don't know if he's going to get there this season. I've seen just a brief tease of the finale, and it looks like it's going to be about a celebration of baby Jack turning a year old, which sounds so sweet and happy. Yes. And then you remember everything else that's going to be there, and this could be a really depressing finale. We're not going in a great direction here. But
no, we're not, but they'll probably give us a lot to talk about over the summer while we wait all these months for new episodes.
And there might be some moments of happiness and hope sprinkled in there. We don't know exactly what they're going to do with timelines.
Yeah, but we did see tonight with Toby and Kate, and they seem to be on a better path here. So the fact that they're getting there to celebrate, yes, I know this is probably not the case in the future, but we are not in the future.
No.
We are right here in the present with these two, with baby Jack celebrating the one year in the finale. Hopefully there will be some nice moments that we can walk away and smile.
Gregory will bring over an avocado. That will make everything better. All right. Well, anyway, what do you guys want to see on This Is Us Season 4, Episode 17? Be sure to share in the comments, and if you did enjoy this discussion, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking the link in the description to the store, and we'll see you here next time.